Have you ever told the truth, plain, simple, honest truth, and somehow ended up being completely misunderstood? Maybe you're doing your best to be clear, open, even generous. You're communicating with integrity, but then suddenly someone just throws your words right back at you in a way that doesn't even make sense. They'll twist it, they skew it, and you're left wondering, did we even have the same conversation? If that's ever happened to you, today's episode might just shift the way that you run your business forever. Because I used to think the phrase perception is reality was manipulative. I used to think it meant lying, like smoke and mirrors, sleazy sales tactics, trickery. I thought, what's your angle? Are you trying to just deceive someone? I believed that reality was synonymous with truth. But then I learned something that changed everything. So if you're in a season where you're tired of feeling misunderstood, or if your messaging just isn't landing with your customers the way you know it should, this episode is for you.
Welcome to Small Business Big Visibility, the podcast empowering you, adventurous small business owners, to attract your ideal customers and boost your revenue. I'm your host, Jason McKenzie. Each week, we'll explore easy-to-implement tools and strategies to take your business to new heights and build the lifestyle you want. If you're ready for more profits and less stress, let's get started.
Have you ever been in a conversation where you know what you meant, but somehow the other person didn't hear it that way at all? You probably tried harder. Maybe you slowed down, explained it more in detail, repeated yourself in different words, and still they misunderstood you. Maybe they interpreted what you said through their lens, through their experience, and gave it meaning you never intended. That's a frustrating and universal experience. Years ago, I was working with a client who had an uncanny ability to flip anything you'd say upside down, twist it sideways, and somehow arrive at conclusions that didn't even resemble reality. You've probably had a customer that's like that, right? Maybe you'd tell them, hey, project's on track, we're waiting for one vendor for a final price, and somehow they come back and say, so what you're really saying is, you're behind and you didn't plan properly. No matter how careful you are, they hear what they expect to hear. When that happens repeatedly, you probably start questioning your ability to communicate at all. Now, I stayed in that working relationship far longer than I should have. It drained my energy and it muddied my own sense of clarity. But honestly, I am so glad I went through it because it taught me something that has radically transformed how I run a business and how I help others run theirs. The truth is not always clear. Let that sit for a second. Your truth, your honest, best, most accurate information isn't necessarily what the other people are even going to hear. Now, why? It's because they don't hear what you say, they hear what they believe. They're going to filter your words through their own experience, assumptions, definitions, and past experiences. That's perception, and perception becomes their reality. Now, you may be wondering, wait, isn't reality supposed to be based on truth? That's what I used to think until I realized truth and reality, they live in completely different worlds. Truth is absolute, objective, independent of your thoughts or mine. But reality, that's constructed. It's built by your brain interpreting all the data you're getting from the world. You can think about it like this. Every day, you take in information through your five senses, what you see, hear, feel, taste, and smell. But here's the kicker. Your brain doesn't let all of that information reach your conscious awareness. In fact, it's going to filter out the majority of it. Instead, it fills in the blanks, it makes assumptions, it adds meaning based on past experiences, and it gives you a version of events it thinks you need in order to function. So, what you experience as reality is not the raw truth. It's your perception of what's going on. Your brain is not trying to lie to you. It's trying to protect you. But this also means that 10 people can witness the exact same situation and they'll walk away with 10 different realities. That's wild, right? Now think about what that means for your business. So in business, your job's simple, right? But not very easy. You're trying to reach people who have a problem, offer them a solution, and communicate the value you provide in a way that makes them say, yes, this is exactly what I need. But here's the problem. If the way you present your solution doesn't align with their perception of the problem, they're not going to hear you. Worse, they might walk away thinking what you offer is not for them, even when it absolutely was. So years ago, someone I'd known for a while approached me with a unique business idea. They ran a catering business and had an idea to turn it into a semi-restaurant pop-up experience. It was kind of smart. The concept was this: they'd offer 2 set meals on specific days at specific locations. Customers would pre-select their meals, the sides, and the pickup time. It would eliminate food waste, streamline operations, and keep it profitable. Then they said something I'll never forget. She said, "Jason, it's simple, right? The website should be easy to build." But the tech stack that they were describing, it wasn't simple at all. They wanted customers to be able to pick one of 2 meals, pick a matching side, but only some sides could go with some meals, limit orders to 20 per meal, track the inventory live, schedule a pickup window, cap orders at a certain number per time slot per location. That is not simple. That's a custom ordering platform with layered logic, real-time database connection, and scheduling. And here's the disconnect. Their perception was that it was easy. So when I explained it wasn't, they felt like I was saying no to their idea, when in reality I was saying, this is going to take way more time and money than you expect. You've probably been in that spot, haven't you? You've offered your professional perspective, you're telling the truth, and they're hearing something totally different. That's the perception gap. And if you don't learn to bridge it, you'll lose trust, sales, and long-term customers. So how do you fix this? You begin by accepting that people buy based on their perception, not necessarily your explanation. That means your marketing messaging, sales copy, product pages, emails, even your customer service needs to speak to what they believe is true. Because when someone feels like you get them, they're going to trust you. And trust builds the bridge between perception and truth. It's not about being manipulative, it's about being intentional. You can think of it this way: a great product that's misunderstood is not going to sell. A helpful service that feels confusing won't convert. An expert who communicates poorly won't be trusted. That's not because the things lack value, it's because their value was not perceived. So, you have to start asking better questions. What is my customer already thinking? What are they afraid of? What language do they use to describe their problem? What beliefs do they hold, right or wrong, that I need to work with, not against? When you know the answers to those, your job gets easier, because now you're not fighting the perception, you're flowing with it and guiding it where it needs to go. This is the invisible superpower behind great brands and thriving small businesses. The best entrepreneurs don't just build great offers, they understand human perception. They know how to meet people in their reality and then gently, respectfully lead them toward the truth. That's when transformation happens. When someone comes to you with a skewed belief or a partial understanding and leaves with clarity and confidence, that is impact. And from a business perspective, that is loyalty, that's advocacy, that's repeat business. So let's land this plane. You now understand why perception is reality. It used to drive me crazy because I didn't get it. I thought it meant deception. Now I see it as a strategy, an insight, as a key even. Because when you stop trying to force the truth onto people and instead start building bridges to it, you change everything. Your words land, your offers connect, your clients stay, your business grows, and you get to spend less time explaining and more time delivering. So if you want your business to thrive, find people who share a similar perception of reality or be willing to meet them where they are. Communicate in a way that resounds with how they already see the world and lead them gently toward your truth. Because when they feel understood, they'll listen. And when they listen, they buy. Until next time, stay visible, stay valuable, and watch your business thrive.